107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B.
The lady of the evening has arrived, and she is looking beautiful. Maybe it's because it's the countdown to Valentine's Day, and red is her color. But it is a pleasure and honor to welcome Lauren Lake, the judge of Paternity Court, to the Quiet Storm. How are you?
Well, thank you. I'm awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
great to
coming.
be here.
You are more than welcome, and thank you for wearing red because it is radiant. and you guys will see pictures in just a moment. And, of course, if you're watching the video, then you'll see her because she is you're looking beautiful.
Thank you so very much.
And I trust 2014
What a gentleman.
is off to a great start for you.
It is. Paternity Court is doing so well. It's been so well received. And we're just so proud of the show and the work we're doing for families and helping people have stronger relationships and live in the truth.
You know, you give a wonderful platform for men and women to express themselves. But I got to be honest with you, Judge.
Yes.
It is a shame that we have to go through these measures in order to settle things out. You know, because in my opinion, I don't know, I don't have any children, but in my opinion, the child is the most innocent factor at the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
Right.
And it's so interesting that in these stories, in this dysfunction, that very important thing gets lost. And that's why Paternity Court is here, to remind people that there is a child, a person, that's missing a very valuable piece.
Yeah.
Who's my father? I should know that. It's my right.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we're excited because the show presents a more positive approach where we really talk about the legal rights, ramifications, the issues, the how did you get here? And then most importantly, once you know the truth, where are you going from here?
Yeah, that's
You know,
important.
we're not just going to stop in here and you're going to dance off because you're not the father or you're going to cry because you are. This is all great. The emotion is wonderful. But the real aha moment is, what are you going to do with this truth? Are you going to better your life?
You have to. I mean, you should. At least
Yes.
a person should, because you're raising a child
Yes.
to become a person.
Yes.
And obviously, parents are the first teachers before we even get
Absolutely.
to school. Right?
Absolutely. And you find that so much is generational.
Is it?
A young man or a young woman saying, I didn't understand the true depth of the responsibility because I didn't know who my father was. I didn't have a father in my life.
Well.
And it continues through the generations. So the buck stops in our courtroom. We want to break cycles of that nature. Yes.
You know, you did something on Paternity Court once. It was this young lady, a young girl, and you know, she didn't show any emotion, and not even in crying. And it was, I think it boiled down to maybe 2 or 3 young men. She wasn't too sure where the baby came from. You might remember the episode that I'm talking about. And I never found out what became of that, but that often it allowed me to reflect back to the book that you came out with a
Yes.
few years ago.
Girl, let me tell you.
Girl, let me tell you. And I hope that that book has helped quite a few ladies since you released it, because we're like a few years up since 2009.
Yes.
But based on looking at your episodes of Paternity Court, I don't know if a lot of them read your book.
Well, I'll tell you what I think is most interesting is when people hear the name Paternity Court, they assume we're going to be male bashing, daddy bashing.
Yeah.
But in essence, what we find that there are a lot of women that come into my courtroom where we find that dysfunction, it starts from them because they're the keepers of the truth. They're the ones lying and saying, I just slept with this one guy and he's the only possible father. Then lo and behold, when the results come out,
That DNA, baby.
absolutely, it shows that, no, baby, you slept with somebody else. And now we all know that. And so, yeah, we have a lot of girl, let me tell you moments where I have to let them know that, no, as women, we have to be responsible for who we choose as mates, as partners, but also for our bodies.
See, the judge has said it all. I've always believed that women choose men. Am I wrong with that?
Women definitely make the choice.
The final
It's up
choice.
to us.
We come to the lady.
Everything stops with us. We say yes or we say no.
Woo, you got a lot of power. You got a lot of power. But you are absolutely right. I've always believed that. Never digressed away from that. And I always say to ladies, you know, well, what choices do you make? And, you know,
Yes.
I hear of such a variety of different situations in my line of work. And I often go back to the bottom line question. What attracted you to this person, and why did you allow this person to come over the threshold?
Absolutely. And what attracted you to that person is often a lot about who you are inside at that very moment. And sometimes it even mirrors who you are. So as you call him a liar, as you call him a commitment phobic, as you call him a deadbeat, if you lay down with him, what does that have to say about you, ma'am?
You attract who you are. You attract who you are.
Yes.